Yedidya, Dana, thank you for giving us some time on this incredibly difficult day for Am Yisrael and for you in particular. Obviously, we observe the real Yahrzeit. We observe on Shmini Atzeret, Simchat Torah, and certainly in our community and around the world, Jews will observe that as the day. But October 7th, on the secular calendar, we join the world. And a year later, it's hard to believe that it's a year later since Aviad Hashem Yikom Damo was killed defending and fighting for the people of Prigan, Shlomit, for the people of Israel. And Yedidya, I know you're joining us tonight. You're back in the army. It's your next round of duty. You've been going in over and over and over again. You're back outside Gaza, in Gaza, still fighting for our people. So the story of October 7th, and Dana, how Aviad and the others all responded to go, the only community in all of Israel that defended not only itself, but ran to defend the neighboring community and paid the ultimate price, leaving you raising your 6 beautiful children by yourself. They paid a price for Am Yisrael, for Eretz Yisrael, for our safety and security. And the story of the heroism and the courage and running to that neighboring town of Prigan that the relationship used to only be on Purim and spending time together for the Megillah, but running to defend what Jews do for one another. It's heartbreaking. It's unbearable. On one of our missions to Israel this year, we had the privilege and the honor of walking the same footsteps, and Yedidya walked us to see exactly where and what happened, and the heroic battle that Aviad gave his life but saved so many lives. So I want to spend our time tonight not talking the specifics of the details of what happened, but now looking a year later. A year later, October 7th, a year later. So much has happened in both of your lives since then. Dana, adjusting to living and raising your children without Aviad, but also having been out of your home, right? Relocated from Shlomit and Chalutza, the beautiful community that we in Boca feel so close and connected to. And you were first in Gush Etzion, and then you were in the Span in Kramim, and now you're back home, and that wasn't easy. So if we can begin, just share with us. Here we are a year later, and you'll never adjust to this new normal. It will never become normal to not have Aviad and Yedidya, to not have some of your friends, and the other 3 losses of Shlomit. It's never going to become normal. But if you can share just some thoughts, as here we are a year later, and so much has happened in this year. Dana, why don't we start with you?
Okay. So I think we're trying to understand this new journey that we're trying to walk through. It's a new life for us. All of us, all the family, my kids and I needed to learn how to breathe again, how to walk again, to wake up, how to hold the happiness that we had in our life. Aviad was the happiest man I ever met. He was such a live man. And one of the things that I told my children that I want that this home will, Be'ezrat Hashem, will succeed to keep this happiness. And I'm feeling that one of the things that I'm doing from Simchat Torah until now is to fight on this happiness of this house. And it's every morning that you wake up, you need to choose if you're going to stay at bed, and or the other choice is to wake up and to give the attention to the children and to help them and to feed them. It's a choice that you need to take every morning if you want to choose in life or you want to choose in death. You have the choices. And I think that this is the main thing that we're trying in my house to do, to choose in life every day, every second. And it's a critical battle. It's not that easy at all. And there is a day that we don't have power to do nothing. There is a day that we are crying and we really feel Aviad lost. And it's very painful, especially when we were so close to Rosh Hashanah. and especially when we moved through the memorial of the 11th memorial and the 12th memorial. Everything was so hard, but I was speaking with my children, and every time that we're falling down, I'm trying to remember me and my children that I want this house to continue Aviad spirit, and I want this house to continue its happiness and his connection to Am Yisrael, and to thanks God that we have, to thanks about that we have a body, that we have a grave, that his body was whole, and to thanks God that we had Daddy for 18 years. We had a present. I can look on my life and see just the loss, and that God took my husband, but I can choose to look at my life and to say that I had a present for 18 years. God gave me a present, and this present needed to go back. It was like picadon in our life, and now I'm bringing back this picadon up above to God, stuff. Now is one of the member of God team now, and so I'm a little bit confused, but I'm just trying to say that I think that my main journey is to choose to think in specific way, and to choose to be grateful on the present that I had in my life, and to be grateful on the present that I have now, and to be in a place that know to appreciate everything that I have in my private family and in my nation too. We can look at the same way at my nation, that we had such a loss, and when Am Yisrael is going through and all the difficult thing, and before Rosh Hashanah we have 11 soldiers that killed. It's very hard, and every time that we hear about another soldier that killed, everything I feel it in my heart. It's breaking it again and again and again. But then we've taken a big breath, and we understand that we are so close to Mashiach. This is what I'm feeling, that we are so close to Mashiach. We're so close to Geula and so close to Tchiat HaMetim. And we need to breathe and to understand that what we're all going through is not for nothing. There is a process, there is a goal, there is a way that God is trying to take us through. And we need to fight on our belief. We need to fight on our happiness and our thankful attitude.
So let me ask you, Gary, you were outside of your home for many, many months. We had the privilege to visit you in each of those locations, in Gush and then Kramim. And without Aviad and being somewhere else, everything felt not normal. And then you came home, you came back to Shlomit, and you're back in your home. When you could have said, we're moving, I don't want to be there, the memories, the price that we paid, the sacrifice that was made, we're not coming back. And here we are a year later, October 7th, and we're not a year later commemorating something that happened a year ago, and now it's over. I know that today there were sirens. Today there were rockets. Right. It's not over. You're back in Shlomit, and the sirens and running to the shelter, and it feels like it's still going on. A year later, October 7th, 1 year later, it's still happening. What was that like, going back home to Shlomit? The choice to go with your children back to your home, and the fact that this isn't over. It's not something that's in history. It's in the past. It's still going on, and we'll speak to Yedidya in a moment. He's on the front line fighting. This is still going on, and he's fighting on the battlefield with the enemy. You're fighting on the inside to not let anyone take the happiness and to stay focused on our future and our people in Geula. What was it like going back? What was it like today when the siren went off again?
I must be honest. In the beginning, when everyone started to speak about coming back to Shlomit, I wasn't sure that I'm coming back. Because every corner here in my house, it reminded me of Aviad. He was such a handyman. Everything here in my house, it did. in the garden, in outside, inside. So it was very difficult for me to think that I'm coming back. But I asked my children, what do you say? Do you want to go back to Shlomit, to our home, without your daddy? And they was looking at me and they didn't understand me. What, mommy? This is our home. This is the place that we are all belong to. We can go to other to live in other place. So when I look at them, I say to myself, I can't take this feeling. I can't this belong this connection of this feeling from my children. And if they can go back, I will have the power. I will have the strength to go back to my house. And I feel now, after almost 4 or 5 months later, that it was the wisest decision to do for me and to my for my family, because this is the place that we are belong to. This is the place that my husband, their daddy, go. He went, and his blood is still there in Pregan. We are belong to here, and this is our nation. This is our country. This is our ground. I can live this place. I have more commitment now than before, and I can leave this place. And you're right. There's still a noise of a war zone, sometimes sirens, but this is our country, and we can't give up. I can't give up. And if we, in the background, back in the OF, how we say,
Yeah, on the border.
in the border, if we going to give up, we going to lose this war. I think that this family here, Shlomit, and the other families of the other communities here, that we all holding this place, we give in the strength to the soldiers to keep fighting. We give it the strength to the government to continue this war. Bezat Hashem, until we're going to Ad HaNitzachon, we say in Hebrew.
Till victory.
To victory.
Yeah, because the enemies here they're not going to let us. We're not going to have easy life. They will always trying to fight with us and kill us. Just yesterday, we had a terror in Beersheba and a soldier killed. They will trying to continue to fight with us, and we're not going to give up.
Dana, you're really extraordinary. You inspire
Okay,
all
again,
of us.
I have someone in my door.
It's okay, no problem. If you have to get it, we're going to pivot to
Just a
Yedidya.
moment.
No problem. Yedidya. So, Yedidya, Dana speaks so from the heart with such courage and such commitment. It's such an inspiration. And here, a year later, and you don't even have the ability to be home with Dana, with the other three who lost their husbands, with your community of Shlomit that you are a leader of, that you help found and you help protect. You don't even have the comfort of being home October 7th, a year later, to mourn with them. You're back on the battlefield. You're back the next round of serving Am Yisrael in the army. Can you tell us what it means? Here we are a year later, looking back a year later, October 7th, Aviad, the others who gave their lives on October 7th, fighting, defending Pregan. And here you're still fighting this war. It's a year later, the longest war in Israel's history. It's ongoing. It's not clear when it's going to end. A new battlefront in Lebanon, Iran, Yemen. There's no end. There's no end. So share with us your reflections a year later, October 7th.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rabbi, for the opportunity to speak to the incredible community of BRS and the Boca Raton community, which become like a family to us. And I really want to open with words of gratitude and love to the community that has been with us way before the war, and God willing will be with us until the full redemption. And BRS East is right here in Israel, in Shlomit, in the area of Halutza. And I really want to I want to share a few words that my wife reminded me a few a few days ago. So she reminded me that on October 7th, as we're rushed to leave and be evacuated from our homes, she runs to grab her passports, all of our passports, and she says, "We're leaving. We're not coming back here." And she reminded me that I looked at her and I said, "Where are we gonna go? We're chased everywhere. You know, we have no other place." And a year later, it's still true. It's still true, but I think a year later, everything we've been through, somebody asked me the other day, how was this past year? Did it go by fast or did it seem like so long? So I took a moment and then I responded and I said, it feels like a combination. On one hand, I can't believe it's already a year. You know, a minute ago, we were standing at the funerals. A minute ago, we were, in Kfar Etzion. A minute ago, we were home waking up to this craziness. But on the other hand, when you really think about this past year, it seems like it's been like 1 year of like 5 or 10 years with everything we've been through. And it's really a combination of both. When I look back, it's still so hard to believe that we don't have these heroes. That I don't see them on the streets of Shlomit anymore. That I don't have them in our life. They were such pillars of the community. Each of them in his own way, and to all of the sudden not have them, it's something that it's hard to explain in words what it means not to have them in our community. But on the other hand, and I think that's what also gives us the strength, we're now we're now moving on and moving forward with their strength that they are giving us. Everything we do, we have them in the back of our minds, in the front of our minds. We're building the shul. We're building it because it was we're building the community center. Of course, it was the vision that we know we're building. We're putting all this greenery on all these plants. Of course, we're writing the Torah. Everything is we have them first in mind, not because we just want to commemorate them, because there truly feels like they're still part of the community as if they're alive, but they are not. It's something that is very hard to explain, and it's not just my feeling; it's a community feeling. And it's the same strength that they give us to fight on the battlefield, to enter Gaza. You think about these heroes who went. We're speaking here with Dana, and her husband went. When did he join the fight? He joined the fight when already the picture is kind of clear. We have guys who are dying. We have terrorists who are shooting. It's a place you're running away from, and he still chose to run in. And it's that strength that you have when you go fight. But with everything being said, and yeah, we're still fighting, but a year later, we're not fighting from a place of we're attacked, we're humiliated, we're responding. We have the power. We're fighting so strong on so many fronts. We're fighting so strong in Gaza. Most of Gaza is Baruch Hashem is destroyed. Hamas is mostly destroyed. Yeah, they shot few rockets, which was a huge reminder and like a deja vu of October 7th a year ago, but it's not the same. This time the IDF responded. This time the IDF is killing the terrorists. The IDF is fighting so strong in Lebanon. Most of the terrorists are running away to their lives. They're afraid to fight with the IDF soldiers. The Air Force is attacking in places no one has ever imagined an Air Force can ever reach. We are hitting them very badly. We're hitting their leaders, and yes, it's a year later. The pain is great. The pain is so great, but still, we have a huge hope. We have a huge hope, and as Dana said, this is our home, and we're fighting in the battlefield on one hand, but on the other hand, continuing to develop the community full force, continuing to give the real answer to the terrorists, continuing to have children. You have no idea how many children we had this year in the community. So many new babies, and every baby, every breath, every born is such a big. It's much more meaningful than just having a baby prior to October 7th. Everyone that names their kids name them with a meaning. Again, with the thinking and with having our heroes in our fronts and back of our minds, that we can continue our pathway and our journey due to the will, the state that the will that they left us to carry on for a brighter and bigger future. We can't stay, as Dana always mentions, we can't stay the same people. And we aren't the same people. In fact, each and every person in Shlomit is different. Bigger people who live bigger lives, who think brighter. You know, every time we have a difficulty, we think about the four heroes that are alive. Those are the four widows, how they are carrying on with their families, with their children, and how they don't, as Dana said, she needs to raise 6 children by herself. So if I have my own difficulty, it's no longer a difficulty thinking about Dana, about Sophia, Nechama, Neora, who will, later on this year, will be coming and visiting you in Florida. And with those alive heroes and those heroes up above, we continue and will never give up, knowing that with such spirit we're winning. We're winning big.
There's no question, and it's very clear to all of us how we're winning and why we're winning, because the combination of the two of you, Dana, your faith and your courage and your determination, and Yedidya, your fierceness and your leadership and your might and your fight. Am Yisrael has a very bright future with the two of you. And on this day, October 7th, we send only so much love and nechama, so much comfort and so much chizuk, so much strength. We're with you every day, not just in Boca Raton Synagogue or Boca Raton, Jews around the world. It's a year later, and there are many forces that try to divide us, but they can't. We're still united. We're still one. We still love you. We still think about you. And with all of the negative and all the energy and all the things, Am Yisrael, we're going to Am Netzach Yinatzeach because of people like you. And so thank you. Thank you on this very, very difficult day, finding a few minutes to spend with us. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for giving us reflections. And we look forward to seeing you soon in Israel, Bezrat Hashem, with that nitzachon, that victory over our enemies. The hostages should be home. The soldiers should be with their families. Yedidya, you should be back with your family.
Amen.
Bezrat Hashem will visit and spend time with your family.
Rabbi, just a moment before you finish, I just want to add to all the crowd that hears us, please continue your prayers, your support. I know it's a long war and everybody gets tired, but these tefillot make a huge difference. This support makes a huge difference. And seeing those TikTok generation soldiers that everybody made fun of just a year and change ago, fighting with such spirit is you can be just in awe of this huge spirit. So please continue the prayers, continue the support. It's you have no idea what it does on the ground.
We're not going anywhere. Thank you, Yedidya. Dana, thank you so
Am
much.
Yisrael Hy, Bezrat Hashem, we will be here forever.
Am Yisrael Hy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.